Hi, this is Greg Jolly with the OHSE REDCap team. In this video, we'll cover how to revise an e-consent survey after a project has moved to production. This video is intended for the project point person who has completed both REDCap basics and survey training, and who has a project in production in which they need to make edits to the e-consent survey. In this video, we'll cover the reasons for making revisions, the requirements, and the technique to properly make revisions to an e-consent survey. Why revise an e-consent survey? An e-consent must be revised any time there is a new paper consent approved by the IRB, including standard annual continuing reviews or modifications that update the content within the consent. The IRB requires that the REDCap project must preserve all consent versions, so that in the case of an audit, the study team would be able to navigate to a given record in the REDCap project and see to which version of the e-consent survey the participant agreed. In order to meet this requirement, the e-consent survey must be edited using a technique called versioning. There are 3 steps to properly version an e-consent form. Step 1. Edit the ICF version radio button field to add the new option and update the @default action tag with the raw value of the new option. Step 2. Copy the ICF approval dates field to create a new date field. And, if applicable, add new descriptive text fields that correspond to new or revised sections of the most recently approved paper consent. Step 3. Apply branching logic to hide the old ICF approval date field and any applicable outdated sections of the e-consent survey that correspond to the old version of the consent, and show the new ICF approval date field and any new or revised sections that correspond to the new version. Before we jump into the software for a demonstration, please note the e-consent components that should not be edited during the versioning process. These include the consent decision, the participant signature if your e-consent form includes a signature, e-consent framework settings, and PDF snapshot settings. At this point, let's jump into the software for a demonstration of the versioning technique. Now we are in our demo project, and you can see here that we are in production mode. Versioning is only required when you're making changes after your project has moved to production. There's no need to version updates to the e-consent when the project is in development mode. To begin the versioning process, enter draft mode and click on your e-consent survey. Find the ICF_version field and click the pencil icon to edit. Add a new option to this field that corresponds with the new approval date supplied by the IRB on your paper form. Also, click down to the Action Tags area, and in the logic editor, update the @default tag to point to this new option. And save. Now scroll down a little bit further to the ICF_approval_dates field and make a copy of this field. Edit the newly copied field with the IRB approval and expiration dates from the new version of the consent. Here I will copy from my paper form. And paste, correcting any formatting. And save. Now apply branching logic to the ICF approval dates field We will refer to the raw value of the earlier version of the consent from the ICF version field. Update and save. This effectively hides this older version of the field from new participants. And likewise, apply branching logic to the ICF approval dates to field. Again, referring to the raw value, this time for the new version of the e-consent that you supplied above. Ensuring new participants see these updated approval and expiration dates. Save that change. We have now successfully versioned the ICF approval dates fields. This pattern will be followed for any consent form language that needs to be updated in subsequent sections if applicable. Note that in some cases, if your consent form did not have any content changes and was simply approved during standard annual review, the only change you may need to make is to update the ICF approval dates field, as we've just shown here. For our purposes, I'll demonstrate what steps to take in the event that you do have further content changes. For example, in the section, What Exams, Tests, and Procedures Are Involved in the Study, I have updated language that was approved by the IRB. So I can copy the updated language from my approved paper form, make a copy of this field, and then paste over this old language with the updated fixed formatting. And save. Just as before, I will apply branching logic to the original ICF procedures field to refer to the earlier version of my e-consent form. And apply branching logic to the field with the updated language to again refer to that newer version of the e-consent. So we are again hiding this old field for new participants and ensuring that this new field displays to people moving forward. Continue in this fashion for any remaining sections of your e-consent survey. And once you've updated all applicable fields and applied the branching logic needed, review the changes that you've made via the link View Detailed Summary of All Drafted Changes on the Online Designer page. If versioning has been applied properly, your changes should be approved automatically, which you can note here. And then submit your changes for review. And with our changes being made automatically, our new version of our e-consent form is now ready for new participants. Now that we have properly versioned our e-consent survey, this concludes our guidance for e-consent versioning. Note that if you'd like to view written instructions on this topic, the OHSU REDCap Wiki includes a section titled E-Consent Revisions in Production in the e-consent guidance section. We hope this training has been helpful. Thank you for watching.